and we got a new MTC update. The name of this update is Operation Hawk Resurgence, a weird name, knowing the main objective of this update: buff Hawk. So, what are the new features? The main ones are Engineer Rework, a new map, Zone 11, Amphibious can swim again, new game mode, Frontlines. Also, new vehicles and quite interesting balance change. Let's see all this in detail. If you look to the engineer loadouts, you won't see any changes. This is because the rework was to replace the toolbox. Yes, such things that give you extra armor. With this, the engineering tool. This is very interesting because you can build trenches and fortifications and hide. But remember, this doesn't save you from high explosive. The only thing that I feel is really useful is being able to build ammo crates. Although you can do some interesting alternative strategies as an engineer. But for now, it's better to play as a support. In this update, in terms of maps, that's cooked. Before talk about fields, they just updated the Snowy Fields map, with new buildings and this new motel. So infantry would be very nice in this map. Or no? Fun fact, you can use the cash register of the gas station.
Oh my god!
Now talking about fields. This map is a rework of an old map, and I will be honest, I love this thing. The terrain is a mix of mountains, flat zones, fields, and buildings. This is perfect for all types of gameplays. Even the infantry is useful here. But this map has two problems. The first one are the terrain buffs, and nobody wants to press that button. The other one are the capture points, because normally nobody cares about A and D, and they only focus on the center of the map. But don't worry, because that doesn't happen in... This is a new game mode, and it's very interesting. First of all, the matches last 16 minutes, 15 more than a normal match. In this game mode there are no capture points, and the map will be divided into 6 quadrants, 3 of each team. This game mode consists of rounds of 5 minutes. In every round a team will push and another one defends. When the 5 minutes of a round end, a message will be sent to all players indicating which team will attack. But be careful, because the quadrants act as capture points, and if there is an enemy in the quadrant you will have to eliminate it to capture. Sadly, capturing the point is only half of the job. And please, make sure to defend the point properly. Frontline tips moment. In this game mode, vehicles with a high mobility are incredibly useful, since you'll have to retreat and attack multiple times. And yes, HSBTL and Leopard 1 are got here. Tip number 2, if the enemy captures your point, the game literally screams at you, turning the wall screen into red, and you won't like having your whole screen red while an IS-7 is pushing you. Tip number 3, most of the time, you need at least 3 minutes to capture a quadrant, so I don't recommend trying to cap more than one. And finally, I will talk about balance change and new vehicles. Wait, I already said that you can do this in the cinematic camera? Ooh. In Cold War they deleted the tier 7 and moved the T18 into tier 6. In Eagle there are no changes in this tier, although they moved the FV from tier 2 to tier 1, a very good buff for the British refrigerator. Also, we got a M48 tier model that replaced the APHE with APCR and gave it a new look with this huge lantern.
Wow.
Sadly, the Tron 3 was moved to tier 3 and the Vessel was moved to tier 2. In Cold War there is only a new Hawk vehicle. The OG-906 is basically a better PT-66. This tank is in tier 2, with a very nice gun, a stabilizer and an autoloader. Sadly, it has almost no armor. In World War II there are only changes for Eagle.
Hello, Biden.
In tier 2 we got the M6A2, a very interesting heavy tank, featuring 2 main guns and lots of machine guns, but with a very standard mobility and bad armor. But yes, this tank is perfect for you if you like having lots of guns. But you know something better? The Sherman Firefly, which has received a remodel, adding an APDS ammunition and a track armor modification. But remember, it's still being a Sherman. In Modern there are a lot of changes, and most of them are both for Hawk, and one of the most anticipated changes for me was the move to Hawk Republic IFVs. The BMP3 was moved from tier 2 to tier 1, and now the tandem head ATGMs are stock. The BMP2M was moved from tier 3 to tier 2, and the BMD4 was also moved from tier 3 to tier 2. Also, there are other changes in Hawk, reducing the price of many modifications, adding others to stock, and improving sights and thermals. Let's see the new vehicles. The PT91 M1A2 is a police MBT in tier 2. Do you want a TCT2 with a 50 cal, and smoke grenades, and more smoke grenades, even the commander has smoke grenades? Then this tank is perfect for you. It also has modification for the Risk APFDS and the M2A2 variant. Now the TCT2B1. This is a modernization of the TCT2B, with a better era and thermals. This tank features modification for a copper cage and better APFDS. But you want a APS in low tier? Well, we have the T18UM bars and the BMP3 Arena. Both tanks are very similar to the normal versions, but they have an active protection system, and this will save you many times. Fun fact, the BMP3 Arena has a better sights than the regular BMP3, and a good thermal. Although the T18 does not have a stock thermal, having to buy this modification for a normal thermal, I guess? And talking about modifications, both T18UM have the T18UE1 modification, so it improves almost everything. Now, one of the tanks that I wanted the most in this update. The TCT2 Moderna is a Slovakian modernization of the TCT2 M1, but with a new era, a new APFDS, and a 30mm cannon. The BT4 is a Chinese exportation tank, featuring a very good mobility with a good firepower, and a very interesting modification for extra armor, better APFDS, and the BT4A1 variant, that adds APS. The RBU is basically a better Estrella MLLs. Finally we got another tank in the Physics State top tier. And yes, the firepower is excellent. Other aspects, no. Do you remember that they deleted the Cold War tier 7? Well, they moved the M1AP to tier 1 in Modern. Sadly, this is a nerf. Since the 120S and the M1A1, now called the M1A1SA, were moved to tier 2 and tier 3, respectively. But that doesn't matter because they added a minigun to the M1A2 loader. And the last thing is the Challenger Falcon, a prototype of a Challenger, with an autoloader and a low-profile turret. Well, this is the end of the video. Thanks for watching. I leave you with the new outro. Bye!